everybody, and welcome back as we're saving you a seat for 2026. And I'm calling this episode, Bryan, The Ones That Got Away, right? Because
that's a good
every
one.
single year we can't see it all. It's just
No.
impossible. It's
Right.
impossible to see it all.
We're
and
just
a lot of
two
these
guys.
movies come out
We're
later
just
in the
two
year.
guys.
Yeah. And a lot of them come out and they're not available for us to see right away, right?
Mhm.
So that happens, and so I think this will become a yearly thing for us. We'll probably have 3 or 4 movies that everybody's talking about that we would want to get on the list.
Yeah, we just couldn't. We didn't have time. This isn't a full-time gig.
Yeah. So we are here to do that today and talk about 4 films from 2025 that really stood out as ones that we wanted to get in and talk about a little bit. And it all begins with this one.
I can always tell when I'm in love because I'm constantly angry and disappointed.
Like, what do you want from the perfect paramour?
All I'm really looking for in a guy is I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Someone who's my height or taller, funny, handsome, successful, my best friend in the whole wide world. Do you have a condom?
I hate condoms.
Oh, you're the guy who hates condoms?
I'm that guy.
Isn't on social media but likes all my posts.
Your adventures being single in New York City.
I'm Carrie Bradshaw. Sends me flowers, adores me.
Oh my God, who are you?
Gets jealous, but like in a sexy, non-abusive kind of way. Oh! The fuck? Did you seriously just slap me? Doesn't hate women. Enjoys my mood swings. Do you want a fork or something?
No.
Isn't a cheater, with no living mother, sister, children, pets, plants, or female friends.
Classic New York.
Yes, it's classic New York. Oh my God, I've been trying to tell everybody it is classic New York. Thank you. I mean, is that too much to ask for?
Not at all, you queen.
Is this grooming? Am I grooming you?
I don't think so. You'd have to have some sort of power over me. I'd say I have a lot more power over you.
So you just saw the trailer, Messy, which I think Bryan has a lot to say about.
This movie is a lot. Now, from one thing that Joe and I were talking about when it comes to these films, these the ones that got away, they don't count toward our 2026 lineup. These films, as we discuss them, one of the main things that we also are going to be discussing is if they break into our top 12.
Yeah.
So this may be the first saving a seat of 2026. But this is sort of a so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye to 2025.
Absolutely.
So,
taking the acid it needs.
Yeah. So Messy is just that. This is a messy film. Stella, she's a hot mess, dude. She is a red hot mess. But the one thing about Stella that is probably her most frustrating, but also her most redeeming quality is that she's very self-aware and she really speaks her mind. Sometimes to the point where it is red flag after red flag after red flag of personality defect. This is a film that it's got so many characters. This film is literally one big smorgasbord of character.
Of indie names,
yes,
like very familiar Adam Goldberg,
Yep.
The list goes on and on, right? So
absolutely, Ione, Skye, who, if I recall correctly, her brother Val Kilmer's kid, yes, doesn't even have a name, just Val Kilmer's kid, Jack. So literally, this is literally about a woman who's emotionally damaged. She's had some really, really tough times, and then she moves to the East Coast, and she just picks up literally right where she left off. Listen, this film is so indie. It is super indie. And that's not always a bad thing either, because the one thing that this film does, and it tries to do as well as our next film, but not quite, it's the actors are more. This is among the most organic film conversation that you're going to get. No one's really worried about stepping on each other's lines. It's actual conversation. And this, of all the films on this week's lineup, it does that well. It's not as snappy as our next film, but it's the most organic. And that's what I appreciated most about this film.
Well, we should mention why this movie came on our radar. Ione, Skye too. We didn't mention, and we have to mention Mario Cantone, but we'll get to that, I think, in a second. But the reason, and Tom Middleditch is also in this. I mean, goddamn, there's so many people.
This is literally a who's who of indie, as we say.
Yeah, but the reason this movie came on our radar is because it has Ruby McCollister in it, who people might remember from The French Italian. She plays the exact same character in this movie that she plays the French Italian.
Absolutely same character. But she definitely is a typecast.
Poor Ruby. But I mean, she's a little. It's a little pared down version from her in the French Italian, right? The French Italian.
She's not as bad.
She's at 100. This one, she's at like 50, right? So.
Yeah, but Ione Skye, of course, 80s babies like us will remember from Say Anything. She's the reason why John Cusack is holding the boombox over his head.
There's Tom Middleditch, who was the star of HBO's Silicon Valley. Adam Goldberg, who you might remember from Saving Private Ryan. He was the squirrely Jewish guy that didn't give a shit.
He was also in John Singleton's Higher Learning. As
the voice of reason.
Yeah, he was Remy's Jewish roommate.
Yeah.
He was also in Dazed and Confused.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So, as the nerd who got in the fight at the end of the movie.
Yeah, with Cat, with what's his name, Cat. The big. What's weird is that he's the reason why Adam F. Goldberg, who is the creator of the Goldbergs TV show, has to be Adam F. Goldberg, because there's two Adam Goldbergs.
That's too bad for Adam F. Goldberg. But you mentioned Ione Skye, and the interesting thing to me about this movie was the amount of references that the homages it paid to a lot of 80s fever. There's a moment in the movie when she meets a young kid and she asks him, "Are you the Keymaster?"
Yes.
Which is obviously a nod to Ghostbusters.
Absolutely.
There's talk of White Russians in this movie, which is a nod to Big Lebowski. And there's just so much. There's so much like fodder in this movie that layers over top of what the real story is. I mean, even the opening monologue reminded me a lot of Annie Hall, right? When you're just basically she's standing in front of a blank slate, telling a joke, basically.
Right, and the poor Uber driver's like, "Bro, can we just go?"
Which is a great payoff, by the way.
It really is, because
and I wish there was more of that in this movie. To be quite honest with you, this movie's very New York as well, very New York indie. It has, look, styles make fights. We say that a lot, right? And it's the same with movies, right? You go back to all the greats who made New York movies. Cassavetes used B-roll in his movies. Scorsese uses music. Jarmusch uses cutaways. Allen uses talking and walking, right? All of those are utilized in this movie, and it gives you that New York feel right away. You knew exactly where you were from the opening moment of this movie.
It seems like every film that's based in New York is the supporting character.
Yeah.
And not many places in the world can do that. Like,
no, there's
as great of a city as Chicago is, Chicago doesn't do that.
And yet with this movie, you get kind of the underbelly of New York. You don't get like the bright lights of New York, the things that you get, the seedy bars and the cute little bohemian, neighborhoods, right?
Stuff that you hear about that you don't see.
They even mention it in the movie itself. Oh, you know where I live? Oh yeah, I love that neighborhood, right?
Right.
There's one running joke throughout this movie that doesn't pay off, and that's the thing that really bothered me was the dad messages.
Yes. Whatever happened?
Payoff from that.
Yeah, there's zero payoff to that. That was, but I think that's kind of a cool artistic choice because it still leaves us a little bit of, because look, all throughout this movie, we're thinking Stella's crazy.
Yeah.
She's a bag of cats.
Yeah.
Okay. But then you realize when she gets her validation, you know what I mean? Maybe she's not. She's just brutally self-aware of the world around her. But then at the same token, there's still that. And I kind of feel like that's kind of a cool artistic choice, because maybe she is a bit crazy.
That's a good point. I didn't think about it that way. Here's the cool thing about this movie that I like. It feels real. This movie feels like a 30-something woman. This is a 30-something woman's life. This is somebody who doesn't have direction, doesn't have anything going for them. They're trying to figure it out, and they want love, and they're trying to figure out what that means, right? And they're trying to find a career with that. They're trying to find life with that. They're trying to figure out if that's what they're going to be, who they're going to be. Are they going to be this person that just does drugs and drinks and goes out every night and parties? Is she going to mess around with boy toys? I mean, she does all of that. She explores all of this scope for her, which I found really, really fascinating and really refreshing and really real. This movie does not stop pulling punches. I mean, there's some cheesiness to it. And Mario Cantone deserves a ton of flowers in this movie. He was fucking phenomenal in this movie. He has the best speech at the end of the movie that made everybody go, huh, that's what this movie was really all about. You know? And I really felt like that was important. And I loved the authenticity of this movie.
Yeah, Alexi Wasser is definitely amazing as Stella. She's also, you can see the confidence, not just in the character, but in her as an actress. You know, there's a lot of the nude scenes that are in this film are extremely indie as well.
Yeah.
You know, not a lot of punches are being pulled, but it goes to show, number one, how I really kind of, in some ways, and I'm probably wrong, but in these indie films, when nudity is portrayed, it's almost like more respected than it is in like the big budget stuff.
Totally, 100%.
It feels so much more respected.
It feels like this movie, organic.
Yeah, but it also sort of feels like the actors appreciate and respect each other, so there's a level of comfort,
you
know, than it is in bigger things. And I feel like even the nudity and the sexual content of this film, it doesn't feel gratuitous. It feels very authentic. It's everyday stuff. This is a woman who's been hurt. She's searching for something that she knows what she wants, but she wants the romanticized version of it.
Yeah.
And she's just searching. And isn't that what all of us are doing in our 20s and our 30s?
Absolutely.
But let me ask you this, Joe.
Yeah.
Does Messy crack your top 12 for 2025?
It does not.
Mine neither. Look, if we had a top 25, it would be in the top 25.
Easily.
It's just not breaking the dirty dozen.
Yeah.
But if you're interested, definitely Amazon Prime right now. It's free to watch with a Prime subscription. Definitely check it out. And I don't know, if you like it, let us know what you think.
At this moment, rescue workers are laboring to recover and identify the remains of Zsa-Zsa Korda, international businessman, maverick in the fields of armaments and aviation, among the richest men in Europe. This was Korda's 6th recorded airplane crash. He is survived by 10 children, 9 boys, 1 nun, his daughter Liesl.
I've appointed you sole heir to my estate, which you may come into sooner rather than later.
Why? It's been 6 years since our last meeting.
I have my reasons.
Which are what?
My reasons? I'm not saying. I'm saying I'm not saying. Korda Land and Sea Phoenician infrastructure scheme. My most important project of my lifetime.
Our objective: disrupting, obstructing, impeding, crippling Korda's enterprise in any manner possible.
Get the hand grenades. Today, tonight, and tomorrow, we rendezvous with every Titan and pretend we agree what we already agree. But in fact, we don't. We can't. Call it. Heads. Heads.
Is this supposed to be here? It was under the lunch trolley.
Oh dear, who shot you?
Tara's from out of town. Help yourself to a hand grenade.
You're very kind.
Could you imagine falling in love with a man like me, by the way, hypothetically?
You're drunk on 3 beers.
Why are you shooting my ceiling?
This is a robbery on behalf
I understand that. I'm asking about my ceiling. You idiots are destroying a magnificent nightclub.
One thing you'll never know because you can't. The truth. I suppose I'm moved by this absurd performance.
I recognize this assassin.
Oh no. Suicide panel.
Merciful Father, take this miserable sin into the comfort of heaven.
Now you just watched the trailer to the Phoenician Scheme.
Oh my God!
To give credit to S.M. Hillman, this was his #1 movie of 2025 when we did our year of indies.
Oh, he was all about
to see for a very long time, but
he was all over this, man.
Yeah, he was.
And I'll tell you what, and I told you this when I was watching it. Every movie I see Benicio del Toro in makes me love him even more.
He's fucking phenomenal in this movie.
He is. So you've watched the trailer, you have an idea of what this is about.
Not really.
Not really, no. So Benicio del Toro plays Zsa-Zsa Korda. He's this tycoon that just pisses everybody off.
Eccentric billionaire.
He's a very eccentric billionaire who governments hate and love all at the same time. And now he's looking to,
cement his legacy. And
he wants to cement his legacy with his estranged daughter sister Lysel, played by I'm gonna mess up her last name, Mia Threppleton. At first glance, now she's the daughter of Kate Winslet, by the way. Now I can see it.
Yeah.
But for a split second when I was first watching this, I thought this was Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
But basically, Liesel is his daughter by his deceased wife, who everyone thinks he murdered. And he's basically it's as the title suggests, there's a Phoenician scheme in place, and he needs to get financial backers in place to make this work.
Basically them going from financial backer to financial backer to financial backer to get to the conclusion, which is the end game is to get his brother to join the group.
Right. His brother Nubar. And they hate each other, by the way. But this film is literally another who's who, but it's not a who's who of indie. This is a who's who of Hollywood blockbusters. Like you got Benicio del Toro, Scarlett Johansson, Benedict Cumberbatch, Bryan Cranston, Tom Hanks, Jeffrey Wright. Bro, Willem Dafoe is even in this.
Bill Murray is God in this.
Bill Murray as God.
Which is so apropos of Wes Anderson. But,
and Michael Cera.
Yeah, well, let's shove Michael Cera for a second because I have a lot to say about that one. But
let's do it.
I just want to say right off the bat, no one does depth perception like Wes Anderson. The way he frames a film is absolutely gorgeous. He has this incredible way of like fish lensing everything and making it look like you're looking at it through a kaleidoscope. It is just it's amazing. The way that goes from the sets design to the costumes to the characters' movements to because the one thing about Wes Anderson films that make a lot of people uncomfortable is the silence. He does a lot of silent stuff, right? Where like he'll just shoot something for 5 minutes. Literally, the opening credits is Benicio del Toro in a bathtub for 5 minutes. That's what the opening credits are, and it's shot from overhead of him, right? So,
right.
Spoiler
alert: you're not seeing anything.
No. But Wes Anderson has a style. You can tell when this is a Wes Anderson film. Like literally, the first frame, it's a Wes Anderson film, and that's awesome and it's great, right?
This is my first Wes Anderson film that I've watched.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I gotta get you on Rushmore then. Rushmore is my favorite. So
yeah, well, because you know what, there was a time that I didn't like films that felt artsy. You know what I mean? Because there are certain films that are kind of artsy in the way Wes Anderson sort of is portrayed and put out there that feels so sort of pretentious. And I don't like it. But I'll say this, though. This is so well done. It's visually stunning. because number one, it effortlessly funny, and a lot of the artistic styles of what we're seeing aid in that. And that sort of, not even just the silence, but in a lot of ways the claustrophobia of the way certain angles are shot. Like when Korda is with the pilot played by the hilariously underrated Steve Park. Like you feel like you are in that cockpit with him.
That's the Wes Anderson style that you come to know and love. But you know, the other thing that Wes Anderson does that I think is so appreciative for actors, and it really helps us as an audience, is he widens the lens and scope of things and puts things on on each side of each other, and then brings them to the middle and lets these actors kind of just absorb you right through the middle. Right, the moment when they're about to play basketball, you have Tom Hanks and Bryan Cranston on one end, Benicio del Toro and the young man who his name escapes me right now on the other end, and they just come together. They just come together, and it is one of the most fascinating things about Wes Anderson films, because he's not moving. His camera's not moving, but you feel like everything is a tracking shot because these actors are allowed to move around and do what they do, right? And when they're still, it feels like they're like in a painting almost, right? And then they're coming to life in a painting. It's brilliant. And you're so right about how it's funny. Like, I wrote down several lines here. My favorite line is when Michael Cera is asking him for the coordinates, and he goes, "Is that a 1 or a 7?" He goes, "God damn it, it's a G."
That made me laugh out loud too. It's like, bro, how terrible is your handwriting?
And then he had to run in and take over the pilot. And then the other one is when they're about to crash, and she and sister goes, "Why am I up here being stalked by a fighter jet? I have a vocation."
Oh, it makes you better than anyone else. You know what really made me laugh is the fact that he had 8 sons, but his daughter was his heir.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Be careful. They're gonna want that sisterly affection of you." And they're just there up on top of her, like, "Love us, love us, love us." So, this film,
they're like a little pack of what are those things? Ferrets.
Yeah. And it's like she's the boss, and they're who they are the son of which she is the son of which they worship.
Now, I will say there is one thing that bothers me in movies, and it is when people can't keep their accents. And Scarlett Johansson has a little problem with the accent she's using.
There's certain people that they start with accents, and it's just like, look, man, this is the best we're gonna get.
And I'm telling you, that's nitpicking in this movie for me. That's nitpicking,
right? But Scarlett Johansson, she's not an accent. She's not that actor. She's not.
No, but where she excels in this movie is where all these actors excel, and that's where she doesn't sell anything, right? She's stone faced,
right?
And it fucking works so
when
well.
You know her, she's great at no selling.
Yeah.
And she's great at selling what we're supposed to feel.
Yeah.
She's cool.
Now, speaking of selling, the one twist in this movie, I don't know how this guy is not getting mentioned in award conversations, because Michael Cera knocks this fucking thing out of the park 100 times out of 100. I mean, this is the performance of the year almost for me in a lot of respects. I really thought he was fucking amazing in this movie.
Michael Cera is so underappreciated as an actor, and that's because he came from that next generation of comedy actors right after Seth Rogen and company. You know, him and Jonah Hill and that whole ilk.
Yeah.
And honestly, you ever notice that once you're a comedy actor, you don't get the respect that you deserve as an actor? Because
No.
I mean, look, I'm going to go back in my way back machine.
Not until you get into the drama roles, right? So.
Right. But I mean, even still, like, Eddie Murphy was a great actor, but Harlem Nights didn't get the appreciation it deserved.
Shit, he didn't even get nominated for Beverly Hills Cop.
No, he did not. And then he didn't. I think he was nominated for Dreamgirls, but didn't win.
Yeah.
Mr. Church didn't even get looked at.
Yeah.
and the tradition continues. It's almost like comedy and horror does not get the respect that it deserves. Michael Cera has so grown. We've watched Michael Cera as an actor grow up before our eyes as a performer, and he gets better and better with every film role.
And he was just phenomenal in this movie. I mean, like he carries 3 or 4 scenes for me that, like, the moment when they're playing basketball and he's trying to get the sister drunk, fucking was great. That was so great.
Anyone that could stand side by side Benicio del Toro
and jab. I mean, he jabbed with him.
Yes,
it was really great.
I would love to see Michael Cera in a film with Daniel Day-Lewis and just see how they do. Because
I think this movie pays homage to Woody Allen with the Stardust Memories, kind of going into the kind of ethereal realms that it goes into. I won't give too much away in that respect. Also, there's an homage to Scooby-Doo in this movie. I don't know if you caught that with him and Benicio del Toro going through the hallway.
Yes, when they're running from it. And I even said, Scooby-Doo BS, man. What's going on here?
Yeah.
But it was good. And I'll tell you what, man, Benedict Cumberbatch, he is so the
cameos in this movie rule. They rule.
The cameos in this are so good. And when people show up, like, dude, his look, but Benedict Cumberbatch's look is so ridiculous in this film, but it just works.
Yeah.
Like, I would buy that over Con.
Yeah.
Okay. But
this movie ends perfectly, begins perfectly, has a little hiccups in them. I mean, this movie's probably about 10-15 minutes too long, if we're being honest. But ultimately, it's not perfect, but it is really. It is not my favorite Wes Anderson film because this is kind of reminiscent of Grand Budapest Hotel for me and a few others that are kind of similar in this vein. It's almost kind of he's leaning on this a little too hard a little bit, but really, really stellar.
All right, so let me ask you this then. Does this crack?
Yeah, I would have had this in my top 12. Yeah.
Same.
And unfortunately for The Queen of the Ring, that means it's got to go. So
really?
Yeah, I would dump. That would be the one film that I would, because I don't want to take out any of our indie friends, right? Our indie friends deserve where they're at on this list.
Yeah,
I think.
Well,
I wouldn't put Phoenicia Scheme 12. I'd probably knock it into the middle there somewhere. Probably 5 or 6 for me, but maybe even 4. Maybe as I'm thinking about what 4 is, that's Sorry Baby. So yeah, I'd probably put it right above Sorry Baby there. So how about for you?
This replaces Eddington.
Okay.
On my list, and it takes Opus's number 5 spot.
Okay.
So it actually goes to the top 5.
Yeah. We got to get you into Wes Anderson films then, because I think you would really love all of the films that have come before this. So.
Mommy, the bathroom has water in it. Go quickly.
I try very hard to be in control of her and everything, but it makes my mother even be there at all.
I don't like how it feels in my sock.
Just stay there, okay? Just hold on.
How deep is it? Are we gonna die? Is the house gonna fall on top of us? Mommy!
Hey, we just got home, and you would not believe.
We are out of time. I have another patient coming, so.
Wait, now? What about the 10-minute warning?
Yeah, I just wasn't paying attention.
You didn't respond to the email that I sent you about my dream.
I don't respond to my clients' dream emails.
I know you have a lot on your plate, but she's getting better, and the rest of it is totally temporary. You need to be a team. This whole...
I know. The problem with that logic, though, is that I'm not a housewife. I work, too. I can see you now.
You've missed the last few weeks of family session.
I told you what happened. Our entire ceiling fell down, and we're living out of the hotel.
Yes on these, but no on the wine.
But it isn't even 2.
It's 1:58. By the time I ring these up, it will be past 2.
Yo, Crazy Pants. I was gonna partake in surfing the web for some things that I'm into.
What kind of stuff? I'm supposed to know how to fix this. I'm supposed to know how to fix her.
What is it you think it's your job to fix?
asking you what I'm supposed to do. Can you hear me?
I would like you to get a good night's sleep.
This isn't supposed to be what it's like. This isn't it. This can't be it. Everything is under control.
Wow. Now, I want to start this off by saying that I love Rose Byrne.
Yeah.
I love her a lot. I think that she's an amazing actress. I would definitely like to see her in more stuff. I love her as a film villain. I love her as our lead. I've loved just about everything of her that I've seen.
Another woman who does comedy really well.
She truly does. Because she doesn't take herself too seriously.
No. Well, that's the thing. I think she plays like hoity-toity characters, and then they turn out to be just too funny, right? You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking of Bridesmaid. I'm thinking of the movie she did with Zac Efron and Seth Rogen, where she was Seth Rogen's wife, you know, in that movie.
Yep, she was also in 28 Weeks Later, she was among my favorite parts of that. She was great as Moira McTaggart in X-Men First Class, although she didn't have a Scottish accent going, but I can let that go. But I really like her as an actress.
Yeah.
But in this film, number one, this is yet another film of everyone in this movie is an asshole.
Yeah, even the ones that don't exist.
Her daughter is an asshole.
Yeah,
I hate everybody in this movie. I hate all of their
1,000%. You were hoping that Christian Slater would be the calming reason behind this, right? And
he's even more of an asshole.
Yeah.
And I love Christian Slater too. Like, Christian Slater is one of those carryovers from my childhood where he was one of my favorite actors growing up. And I love the fact that he sort of scaled back after his meteor sort of fizzled just a little bit.
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing his voice on the phone, did you think it was Christian Slater?
I knew for a fact it was Christian Slater. He just has that voice that
I felt like that he kind of went into like Albert Brooks mode a little bit on the phone. Yeah, I was like, he can't be that old though. I was like thinking.
I kind of think he wanted to put like he's tired. Like he's tired. He's a ship captain.
For people who don't understand, Christian Slater shows up in the third act of this movie, but his voice is on the phone for the majority of the movie.
Yeah, he's a constant presence.
This is the one time when the phone call pays off. But
right. Yeah, exactly. But I think that, I think for the character, he's just tired. He's got a wife that is exhausting, a child that he loves, but the child is exhausting, and he's a boat captain, and that's got to be exhausting. The whole kit and caboodle of this is that Rose Byrne and Christian Slater are married. They have a child. Christian Slater is away 8 weeks at a time because he's a boat captain. And their child has an unnamed illness. She's got a feeding tube. And while Rose Byrne is trying to take care of her child who is sick, there's an issue with their apartment. The ceiling falls in. So now she's dealing with the frustration of being displaced, living in a motel while trying to deal with her daughter. And then she's also a psychotherapist, which is the most God. If you're a therapist, you should be
for trauma victims. We should mention.
Yeah,
that.
And she's a psychotherapist specifically for trauma victims, which is difficult. I get it. I tell my therapist all the time, man, thank God for you, because you got to hear this my crap and then everyone else's stuff all day, every day.
Here's what I like about this movie. The foreshadowing in this movie is very strong. It's very well done because what this movie's trying to prove and do, trying to fool you into thinking what's real and not real, right? And that we're watching a descent of madness to somebody who really shouldn't be descending into madness at all. It's just that stress is just getting overwhelming to her, and then you start to question what she's seeing is real, who she's talking to is real. did she make up, embellish things? This movie does such a great job of setting all of that up and then paying you off at the end, because it does reveal everything at the end. It tells you who was real and who wasn't. It tells you what was embellished and what wasn't. It tells you who's who. So it does all of that. And so for that, this movie deserves great kudos. Again, another movie with a great opening shot. I love the half shadowed face because it just sets up, because she's in a calm presence in the very beginning, sort of. But I mean, something triggers her halfway through the opening shot. But when she's in that face, you can just tell we're about to see some evil shit happen right now, right?
Yeah.
And that is great foreshadowing. I just wish it didn't take so long for this movie to start revealing itself, because 25 minutes, I wrote the exact moment, 25 minutes in is when it started to tell you who she was, what she was doing, and why she was freaking out. And the first 25 minutes, if you cut that out and just started from that moment forward, you would have had the same movie. It would have been the same result.
The setup takes a long time. They're really holding our hand through it. But at the same token, I mean, I get why, because I think that if we don't have that first 25 minutes setup, it's just, oh, poor rich white girls having a bad day. Now, granted, I still...
Which is funny because that happens a couple times in this movie.
It really does.
The store owner that won't sell her wine.
Right. But it's like, oh, no, you're gorgeous. You have a beautiful child. You've got a good job. Woe is me. But that first 25 minutes, though, takes us behind the curtain.
Well, it sets up the big thing with the hole in the ceiling.
Correct.
But
because the thing is,
we don't know who she is until she starts doing her job, right? She mentioned she has a job,
right? You know? But it's wild though to me, especially now. Number one, I didn't realize Conan O'Brien was Conan O'Brien, and I'll tell you what. This movie made me be like, you know what? If you had to choose between Conan and Dennis Leary, I'm taking Dennis Leary, because at least you know he doesn't give a shit. Conan O'Brien, they had a really, really touching scene, Rose Byrne and Conan O'Brien, because Conan O'Brien is Rose Byrne's therapist. Now, and here's the thing, therapists need therapists. If you see a therapist, you're part of the reason why your therapist needs a therapist. And I'm not saying that to make fun. Okay. I'm just saying. Because anyone whose job it is to take on the weight of the world, they need someone to take on their weight. It's human nature. But Conan O'Brien is just so dismissive, because it's almost like I said earlier, oh, poor cute white girl, you're having a bad day.
She really leans into him too. Like,
she is really
his own practicing and everything.
She is very codependent on him, and you can just see.
Well, there's a good reason why I don't want.
And there's reasons why.
Yeah, I don't want to reveal it, but
he's over her, which tells you a lot in that regard. We can cut to that.
Yeah, he's trying to be the voice of reason here, and
but it's hard to be reason. It's hard to be the voice of reason when you've lost all reason.
Right. And
I'll tell you what, though, this is another film that's just it's full of characters.
Yeah.
And this takes place in Montauk. Part of it takes place in Montauk. So once again, now granted, Montauk isn't necessarily New York City, but it seems like that section of New York is just its own character in and of itself.
I mean, the city, other than the walk up and the bad hotel, doesn't really play a part in this movie at all.
No. I think the only time only times the hotel really has something is when she argues with the night manager, when she goes to A$AP Rocky's room, and it's just like, and I'm like, I swear he's scamming the hell out of her for crypto. And when at the end, that's about it.
Yeah.
But you see that Linda, who is Rose Byrne's character, she's not a good person.
No.
She's a very selfish person.
Yeah.
Bro, how do you take someone you barely know to your place, get them hurt, and just dip?
Yeah.
Like,
and then have the audacity to go, what did you want me to do?
Right. And then, like, Rose Byrne does a.
But at that point, she was full tilt. Let's be honest.
Yeah, she was just off. She was off.
Look, this movie is about her descending into a madness that she doesn't have to descend into. That's basically what. And I'm curious. I would love to get your thought on this. What did you think about it being so dark?
It
was dark. It was dark from the beginning. For the only light parts is when she's actually doing her job, which I feel like they were trying to tell us that was the only real moments in her life, right? But that's not true.
I thought it was an artistic choice because it shows, her descent into madness. It's very dark. It's very.
But it's dark from the very beginning. It doesn't
exactly. Bro, if my ceiling fell in right now, I'd definitely go to a dark place. So I get it.
Fair enough.
I get it. I totally get it. Now, so let me ask you this though: is this a film? Is it gonna crack its way into Joe Compton's top 12?
Not even close.
Me neither. I
understand why Rose Byrne's getting the love she's getting, but really, honestly, the DP deserves all the credit for this film because the colors in this movie, the way that this movie moves, the shots, and then the edit in this movie are really well done because that's what sells this. I think Rose Byrne's a little over the top. I think everybody in this movie is a little over the top, to be honest with you, and it almost plays like a stage play on a film set, and it really irked me a lot. I was disturbed a lot, and I guess that's the point. But
it made me
really didn't. I never got sympathy or footing for anything that was going on here.
I never felt bad for.
I just wanted it to end. Is what I wanted to happen.
Yeah, I think after a bit, like this is a film that it catches my attention for a bit because I'm watching a movie.
Yeah,
and then I'm like.
Yeah, because there's cool shots. I mean,
yeah, there's some
when
great
her
shots.
and her daughter are like sitting in this red room, and it's just dark red, like in like a dark room, like you would be in if you were a photographer, making pictures, right? They're sitting in this room. It's fucking amazing, But it's style over substance, and it's really hard to get over that. I mean, the best scene in the movie is probably the end. To be honest with you,
yeah.
I mean, that was pretty well done for something that we see happen all the time when people go out at night into a beach, and that's where I'll leave that. But
I think it was a good style choice for us not to see the daughter. I think it was a great style choice.
100%, because again, this movie is all about tomfoolery. It's all about trying to trick you into thinking what is real and what isn't real, and where is she on the scale of this. And in that respect, Rose Byrne does a good job of selling that, but she's so over the top that after a while you just go, I don't care anymore if it's real or not real.
Damn, Joe Compton turning into Tommy Lee Jones. I don't care.
I just didn't. I
hear you. This is probably of the films that we've watched for this. I hate to say it, but it was sort of. I don't want to say my least favorite, but it was sort of the least compelling just because with the star power that you have in this, I kind of would have expected better. But that's not to say that this isn't enjoyable. It is a bit enjoyable
it's not being faulted by the movie aspect of it, right? The movie aspect of it is good.
Yes. I think that plus if you're a fan of Rose Byrne, I think you definitely need to watch this if you're a fan of hers, because it's just another way for you to see what she can bring to the table.
Nothing can survive out there. They kill everything.
But you don't know that. You're guessing. Just breathe. I mean, I had to hope for a long time that someone was listening when I read. And there you were.
We're friends, right, Joe?
I just said that.
Well, I need your help.
broadcast with a message from the Federal Emergency System. Local residents are advised to immediately tune into local news outlets. Residents of the United States are strongly encouraged to take the following precautions and cover all open ones. Barricade all windows and doors. Barricade all windows and doors, and clean up any traces of blood.
Just saw the trailer to All That Remains. Let me just preface this by saying we begin our relationship with Screamify here, which we're very happy to have.
Big fan.
What a great app. I love that they literally put out like 5 or 6 movies every week. It's really amazing what they're doing. And this was the one that stood out to me, and I'm just going to apologize right now that it did. But,
Didn't I brought Screamify to your attention?
You did.
So, good job.
Absolutely. Kudos on you. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, but this was when I was looking through the menu. I mean, there is a certain type of film that is, penetrating Screamify a lot, which are not my cup of tea. The contracted kind of films that I'm hoping we stay a lot away from. But I have because I know my partner. I know we're going to probably watch some fucking weird zombie apocalypse dinosaur bullshit. So,
Hey, I am not that big of a fan of dinosaurs. Okay. I'm just not. But I do have to say this right now. Screamify is offering, and they are not sponsoring this. This is just me giving a leg up because this is what we do here at Go Indie Now. We give leg up to indie art. Screamify right now is offering a 30-day free trial, and then it's only $3 a month. Like, that is the cheapest streaming platform you are going to find.
And if you're a horror fan, this is 100 times better than Shudder, in my personal opinion.
Yeah,
it is just. I know Shudder has all the high end.
Shudder has like the real high end sort of, and it's not all. It's not. I mean, there are some indie stuff on Shudder.
Yeah,
but this is indie. This is very indie. And what's great about Screamify is that your $3 is funding indie film.
Yeah. And that being said, I probably would not have greenlit this film. Look, okay.
Damn. Compton coming in hot.
Let me be nice. All right.
No, we didn't say. Look, no, we didn't say we were going to do this show and be nice. We said that we were going to give honest opinion.
Well, here's the thing again. Let me ask you this question again. I've already asked you this once before, so let me ask you this again. This movie's 70 minutes. What do you think about movies that are shorter like this?
I mean, movies that are shorter. I mean, that means you're condensing an awful lot to tell the story. And I'm not going to lie. I kind of thought this film was longer than that. I really did.
I wrote another 70 movie film, but this one really felt like it. For me,
it was definitely long.
Again, and what's ironic too is this film, like A Hot Summer Night, is in one location. So yeah, I mean, it's almost identical to the way that Hot Summer Night presents itself, except that it's a completely different movie.
But what was kind of cool is that you can tell that they don't have a lot of a budget.
Yeah.
So when the action scenes happen or something that's going to cost money happens, they had a really cool artistic choice of having it animated, which was kind of cool. I like that.
That was a little neat. I will agree.
That was neat.
Look, I think personally, this movie, again, very similar to If I Had Legs, very well shot, very well done. There's purple lights in the Act 3 that I think are just fucking amazing. There's some really great shots. There's some really great opportunity here. This movie is another one of those movies that is so rich with opportunity to do something, and it just never does it. It never pulls the trigger.
Yeah,
and that's where I lay with it. It's really tough. Yeah, I mean,
this is a film that you can watch. Like I said, you can watch it on Screamify. It's also on Tubi. Go fig. So this film, it really kind of, it's like, what if A Quiet Place didn't have to be quiet and there's no John Krasinski and Emily Blunt?
It's a very apt description. Also, if you were stuck in the village and you didn't know you were stuck in the village.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the official synopsis. In a world ravaged by inhuman predators, an isolated girl struggles to cope with the grief of losing her family by befriending a storytelling radio operator. It's a film about guilt, grief, and creative spirit. Now, what that description tells me is that was written by the filmmakers.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
But that's literally it. This film's about two sisters that are, their father. It's sort of an alluded to that dad was in the military. You see all that. And it's just the two sisters. Mom just decided she couldn't handle it anymore.
Yeah.
And then you've got the younger sister who is just a brat, Sophie. And, older sister Joan is basically left to take their mom's carcass off of the family property because blood attracts our predators. And then Joan never comes back.
Yeah.
And then now Sophie is trying to survive on her own while talking to a guy on the radio.
Who's basically play-by-playing all the things that are going around everything else in the world.
Basically, he's the radio. He's Three Dog from Fallout 3.
Yeah.
It's exactly who he is. And he's trying to, keep her sane because she's the only person that's talked to him in God knows how long. The one thing that I really like is that how claustrophobic and lonely this film feels.
Yeah. This movie builds it, which is what the previous movie did not. So
correct. And it's not wicked over the top, but there's cliche.
Which is where I have the problem. It should have had a little bit more wickedness in it.
Yeah, but I mean, again, you can tell they didn't have a lot of money toward this. We never see the monsters, and a lot of the action is animated.
Also self-induced.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, though, what was really good, the makeup. The makeup is pretty good. It does a really good at setting the scene, the sadness, the loneliness, the hopelessness.
All of that is really well done here. Really well done.
And Emily Kynal, I'm butchering her name.
Yeah, something like that.
She does.
Emily, you were great, Emily.
Emily was great in this, but the thing is, she's good at emoting.
Yeah.
I think the only issue that I had with the line delivery was not the way she delivered it, but probably the way it was written, which is fine. It happens. That's a very indie thing. Yeah. Not a big deal. It didn't take me out of the movie. Yeah, I didn't hate this film. I thought it was fun. I kind of feel like
I just wish I was waiting for something to happen, and that's what I felt like for 70 minutes. And I wish there was something more to that. That's the only one thing about this movie that it doesn't pay off like it should, and it does. You have movies like Signs that did this exact same thing, right? You don't see the monster till about the third act, right? But we see the monster eventually,
right?
I mean, I get it. They didn't have money to do that. That makes sense. We only hear the monster like once in the entire movie, and it was tough because then we're sitting there 70 minutes of her panicking, basically.
Right. And it's just, it's just a lot of her just freaking out.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, it's like when you look at the poster for this on IMDb and you see the character of Sophie there with the gun, and I thought when I saw that, is this going to be another version of Becky? And it's really not, which is kind of unfortunate. I mean, honestly, what would have made me happy is if this film would have been like, not even the zombie, like let the monsters be secondary, but maybe when some raiders showed up, they go through a Becky situation, her outsmarting them. I would have loved that. And we got that, but it was so watered down. It's like we got to the climax of the third act, and it's like, all right, let's get through this so we can end.
Yeah, like where maybe she feeds the predators or intruders to the monsters, kind of thing, right? Kind of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there was no payoff there for that. And yeah, and it also didn't give any stakes to the guy on the radio, which the guy on the radio had no stakes in this movie whatsoever. He was just a guiding light, and it was like until the very end when he makes his little speech. But it's like, but we waited 70 minutes for that, you know. And it just was not. It was tough. It was tough to do. I think this movie's gorgeous. I think if this movie had budget, I think these guys would go back and make a really good film. I think that's the thing that I caught from this. This movie would be really good if it had the budget to do it. And it tried really hard with what it had to do that. And it just, for me,
it tripped.
It was just too long for that. This would have been a really good short film. You know,
yeah, I think if this was like a 45-minute film, it probably
I think 20 minutes would have sold it just as easily, right? So
because a lot of the storytelling that they did, they could have gone. They could have. In
fact, I think that accelerates everything that goes on. That we do get the little reveals of who her family was and all that. I think that accelerates all that by doing it in like that 20 minutes, right? So.
Yeah, like yes, because like, and the thing is, this film did a good job of sort of showing you bits of her life beforehand. Like you could have had, you know, sort of like the animation, and then it's her sitting there eating, carving, you know, her sister's name, and then something that happened involving her dad's name. So then we get an idea of what she's doing.
Yeah.
And then, you know, but I mean, it was ambitious, and honestly, when you get to certain indie films. When you look in indie, this is what you're going to run into. You're going to run into
this. For the most part,
and that's not a bad thing.
No. And look, I would not watch this movie again, but I will tell you, this is not a bad film. This is not like when we criticize indie films that we've criticized. Those have been pretty terrible films, almost. You know, this one is not bad. It just is not what I think it could have been. It's not their fault, and I don't fault them for that. No. It's just that's what I feel like. There's so much more.
It's a victim of finances or lack thereof. Maybe even now, I don't know much about our director. Yeah, Dylan Treadwell seems like this is, you know, this is his only writing and directing credit, courtesy of IMDb. So I mean, this is a great first time out the gate.
I wish he had done it as a short. That's what I think. I think he would have benefited from that, to be honest with you.
Right. But I don't hate it. I have a soft spot for it.
That's a great way to put it. I have a soft spot.
I have a good soft spot for
it. And I look forward to seeing what Dylan can do with some money.
Correct. Get him a little bit better of a budget, and let's see what we can do.
It goes to show you, I think, what we experience on a show by show basis is what we usually find one really good gem that's going to make our list out of the four we usually talk about, right? So,
yeah, and for both of us, it kicked the film out and it took a place. So I mean, good on the Phoenician scheme. So that is our cemented 2025 top 12.
Yes, sir.
Now that means next time you see us, we're going to be I'll be like Bill Belichick. We're on to 2026.
Yeah. Don't talk to me about 2025.
Yeah, we're no longer in 2025. We're moving next week.
We're starting our audience recommendations next episode. SM Hillman has given us an animated film to check out, so I'm real excited about that. We haven't done an animated film.
Yeah, that's our first animated film. Oh,
yeah, more about that when that episode airs. And why, Bryan?
Because it's always time to go indie now.